My presentation is on surface exposure dating, which is one of the most essential studies we have. I will be discussing the deglaciation of the Americas during the last 12,000 years and the melting of Antarctica and the raised beaches that have come as a result. My name is Gabriel Aviles, and thank you for listening to my presentation. What is surface exposure dating? It is a way for scientists to know how long a rock has been exposed to the Earth's surface. This is important as it shows the climate change of any given area, specifically the deglaciation of an area. It gives scientists the ability to know how long ago glaciers could have existed in any given area. Image shown is of Perito Moreno Glacier in Santa Cruz, Argentina, which is one of the largest glaciers left in the world, which has slowly been melting and breaking away due to global warming. Using surface exposure dating, we can see that the glacier was once a massive, almost country-sized glacier due to the exposed rocks that were once buried under the ice that have now become surface level due to global warming. Using surface dating, we know that the Americas were once covered in massive glaciers that spanned over wide parts of both continents. Using the work of David Palacios, we now know that over time the glaciers melted due to a warming planet and human interference. A direct quote from his scientific peer-reviewed journal, Deglaciation of the Americas, he says, glaciers retreated throughout North and Central America, and in some cases completely disappeared, showing that during the Holocene era, which spans from roughly 12,000 years ago to present day, almost all of the glaciers in the Americas went away due to a warming planet. Surface exposure dating is what allows for us to know that in roughly 12,000 years, the Americas have warmed approximately 5 to 11 degrees Celsius, causing the melting of America's glaciers. Since then, our planet has cooled slightly, but not enough for glaciers to return to the vastness in which they once spanned. The shorelines of Antarctica have seen drastic changes in its sea level in the last 10,000 years. The melting ice is a direct result of the warming of the Earth, and as more ice continues to melt away, the more rocky beaches we will continue to see in Antarctica. Surface exposure dating shows us that these beaches were not here, even as long as 10,000 years ago. And as a result of deglaciation, we have seen a 3.8-meter drop in sea levels in Antarctica. Antarctica once spanned this massive ice shelf that was thousands of miles long. While it still is that, we have seen a massive drop in the amount of ice and vastness of the continent. When explorers first discovered Antarctica, it was unreachable due to the vastness and lack of any rocky beaches to dock a ship. Now Antarctica is covered in rocky shorelines that have been around for less than 10,000 years. The direct quote from Sengri's Yildirim says that these shorelines serve as records of interactions between various environmental spheres, allowing researchers to infer the timing of deglaciation events and to model glacial isostatic responses to ice mass loss, which are essential for understanding relative sea level changes. These sea level changes will continue, and Antarctica will see a continued raise in temperature as long as more rocky beaches are appearing on its shores. Surface exposure dating is one of the most important studies in geology, as without it, we would not know that the drastic changes our Earth has gone through. In just 12,000 years, we have seen the Americas go from covered in massive glaciers to being almost entirely gone, and we have seen Antarctica shrink to levels it never has before. The new rocky beaches that outline parts of Antarctica show the melting of the glaciers in such a shorter period of time. New beaches are being formed with every piece of ice that falls into the water, and we are able to know all of this due to surface exposure dating. Surface exposure dating has shown us how fast our world can change. It shows us that while in human lifetime, it sounds like forever, but in Earth's lifespan, in the blink of an eye, we can lose defining pieces of our planet. The Americas at one point were covered in ice and snow, and all of that is now gone. Now the Americas are a temperate or tropical climate with almost no glaciers, except the northernmost points humans rarely reach. Antarctica is no different, as it was once a 1,000-mile long sheet of ice and snow that has slowly melted away and turned into new rocky beaches. These rocky beaches have also helped raise the temperature of Antarctica, showing that there will be more rocky beaches being created to the point where Antarctica could cease to exist at some point in the near future. Surface exposure dating is essential to understand how to take care of our planet. Without it, we would not know any of these facts, and would not understand at all how to keep our planet, which we need, healthy and alive. My name is Gabriel Aviles, and thank you for listening to my presentation.